What's going on? We back. It's the Box Clink and More. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. Y'all know what it is. Planning on another live stream probably today, and then tomorrow I'll do another one. Do a Q&A tomorrow when the fight's coming up this weekend. If you didn't catch any of the breakdown prediction videos we did, Rios, Garcia, Benavidez, Garville, Devin versus Victor Ortiz, and Ebanks versus George Groves. They there. And don't forget this Saturday, both PBC cards on Fox and Showtime. We doing live commentating and live scoring. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. But we here talking about Terence Crawford and Jeff Horn. And I remember a few weeks ago, Paulie Malignaggi said this fight wasn't a shoe-in. It was a tough fight for Terence Crawford. And a lot of people, just laugh and scuffled at him and say, Paulie probably was just being biased because it was another network. But, I'm going to tell you why this fight may be a tough fight for Terence Crawford. And a lot of people just, see it as a layup. Some people think, Horn is a bigger upset over Crawford than Rios upsetting Danny Garcia. I did that question a few weeks ago. I don't believe that to be true. In my opinion, I think if Rios beats Danny Garcia, that's a bigger upset, in my opinion, because Rios don't have nothing left. I don't care if he gets in shape. Rios was a very, very good at 35 because of the size advantage, and then he was okay at 140 and 147. He really ain't, done anything. But people forget that Crawford is moving up in weight. And most people will be like, yeah, when you move up in weight, skills pay the bills and all that such nature. But it ain't like this dude is moving up versus a guy who was a former 135-pounder or a former 140-pounder. He moving up versus a guy that can really legit be a 154-pounder and probably at some point in his career could compete at middleweight. And Jeff Horn is very physical, and Crawford hasn't fought that style since he's been with Top Rank. The physical guys he fought that were rough and tough like Ray Beltran, and maybe another guy I'm forgetting. But when he tends to fight guys that's bigger than him, Crawford tends to move a lot. He tends to box more, and he's had that practice before with other guys like Postal. He boxed and moved more. He moved a lot. Delorme, he knew Delorme was chinny, but he did what he had to do in that fight. With Jeff Horn, this dude's gonna present something that Crawford hasn't seen with 8-ounce gloves on television, and that is a very physical guy who's dirty, who's a mauler, who likes to brawl, who could punch, who could take a terrific punch. And this is the one fight that's going to test Terence Crawford's, chin for the most part. Starting off, he's going to test, Terence Crawford's, punch resistance to the body. He's going to test Terence Crawford's stamina as well. And I'm not saying that this fight is going to be a close, razor thin close fight at all, or potentially it could be. But a lot of people are selling the fact that Jeff Horn's short. They're selling him short. They don't really look at the film. They didn't see the film where he took a lot of big punches from Randall Bailey, took a lot of big punches from Pacquiao. I remember a lot of people, remember that. And at the end of the day, Pacquiao still can thump with that left hand. And people just treating this as a tune-up and as a stepping stone. But this is a real, true test for Terence Crawford. I think this is one of the tougher tests outside, the usual suspects at 147 and Thurman and Spence. I think this is a tough fight, and I think it's a good fight and a good barometer to see how Terence Crawford would deal with a guy that's physically, that's physically stronger than him, probably, that's physically bigger than him, or one of the physically strong and bigger welterweights. Crawford, hasn't faced a guy that's going to bring it to him on the inside and as strong as Jeff Horn and as awkward as Jeff Horn using those angles. We're going to probably see Crawford on the ropes, some. We might see Crawford, boxing and moving some, and see Jeff Horn trying to cut the ring off on him and close distance. We might see Jeff Horn headbutt him, elbow him, hit him on the hip. We might see a real nasty fight, and a lot of people just automatically assume that Terence Crawford is automatically going to pass that test. He hasn't fought anybody with the physical strength of Jeff Horn on a professional level yet. And when he fought guys that were physically, willing to mix it up with him, and Ray Beltran and Victor Postal, he didn't mix it up with those guys. He didn't. He boxed and stayed cautious and boxed and moved, and he was safety first with those guys. And going up to 147, you can be safety first with some of those guys, but you don't have the same physical advantages over, Ray Beltran or Victor Postal. You go up against a Keith Thurman, you go against a Errol Spence, and a lot of people like if Jeff Horn performs better than a lot of people anticipate, which people don't anticipate or expect anything from Jeff Horn, which I do. I think Jeff Horn is going to win some rounds and do some damage, to Crawford, does his thing. But if Jeff Horn, has some success in this fight and how fickle boxing fans is, I can see a lot of people jumping off the Terence Crawford bandwagon. If Jeff Horn scores a knockdown, hurts Crawford, or makes it closer than what people anticipate, which most people think this would be a 12-zip blowout or a quick knockout for Terence Crawford, but they crazy. If that happens, a lot of people going to flip the script on Terence Crawford. A lot of people going to jump ship. I remember people jump ship on Terence Crawford when he fought Klimov. He's boring, man. He couldn't even knock Klimov. I don't want to see this guy again. A lot of people said that, you know what I'm saying? Then at the Victor Postal fight, all he did was run. All he did was he just ran. You heard those same fucking sentiments from a lot of boxing fans as well. And fans will flip on you quick. Boxing fans are disloyal. They like a pit bull when he get into that crazy mind and switch up on you and don't care about nothing but going for the kill. So I'm just here to give you a disclaimer that this could really, really happen. People dismissing Jeff Horn like he ain't nothing. He took some big shots from Pacquiao. He roughed up Pacquiao. And I understand people say, oh, Pacquiao was old and stuff. Well, he took the angles away from Pacquiao and he made it a dogfight. And even if it's a dogfight with Terence Crawford, I'm trying to tell you, this dude's gonna have some success at some point in this fight. Now, is Crawford, knock him out? Possibly. I can see Crawford potentially knocking him out and wearing him down. But Jeff Horn's a tough guy to the chin. He's gonna have to do some body work. And a lot of people think this is gonna be a layup, and I'm telling people it's not gonna be easy. Jeff Horn is gonna have some success in this fight. He's very, very awkward. He's presenting something Crawford hasn't fought with 8-ounce gloves on with no headgear. He's presenting a tough guy that's unorthodox, that's awkward, that can punch a little bit, who got a good chin, and who's physically strong and physically dominant for a welterweight. He really does. And if he is able to mix it up on the inside with Crawford and headbutt him and create some adversity and create a cut, now you're going to see Crawford go through some adversity. A lot of people got him as pound for pound number one. Like I said, I got it vacant, but I think he's the highest rated pound for pound guy. I got it vacant. Then I go down the list. I still think somebody got snatched up, and you don't just boss up and snatch that crown. But this is kind of still him going through the motions. We've seen him hit clean on the jaw by Gamboa. We've seen Diaz land some big right hands. We've seen other fighters hit him. But now when this is the chin test right now coming to 47. This is the physicals test for him. Now we know he can box and go 12 and do it seamlessly versus that competition where he enjoy a large advantage physically and height, length, speed, power. Now you go on against guys that may be stronger than you, probably stronger than you and tougher than you, and bringing a different type of style. So now can he really take him on the chin? Can he really go through a war for 12 rounds? Can he go through some adversity? Maybe he down a round or two. Oh, well, what if he get cut? What if he get hurt to the body? What if he get tired? Now he's really stepping up the competition. A lot of people don't understand what I'm saying, but when you at 35 and 40, his resume, his best fight was Victor Postal. Come on. Now you fighting guys that's physically just as strong and comparable to you, and now you fighting guys your own size, and that's what happened to Adrian Broner. Broner was squeezing down in weight, dominating smaller guys, but when he got to his ideal weight class and where he should have been fighting at, he was pedestrian. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to Terence Crawford, but it something like that could happen. A lot of people just think this guy's just going to jump through weight classes and just, seamlessly all his boxing ability carry him or whatever that will be. Yeah, his boxing ability will carry him, but you need a little bit more than that. You're going to have to show some dog. You're going to have to show some toughness, some grit. And I expect him to do that, but I don't expect it to be easy, a seamless transition, because it's 140 to 147 is one of the hardest jumps to make. For the simple fact that 147 is the last class that allows 8-ounce gloves, and those guys rehydrate to middleweight, sometimes almost close to super middleweight, and they punch them harder with 8-ounce gloves on. And a lot of people don't understand that difference. From what's the difference from 40 to 47? It's more than 7 pounds. You got to add the rehydration, height, length. A lot of these guys are physically, on par with Terence Crawford or a little bit superior to him, and his skills is gonna have to really, really pay the bills, and we're gonna see what type of fighter he is. But I don't see that Jeff Horn as an easy fight or a cherry pick for a belt. I think this is a good fight and a good barometer to see how good Terence Crawford, how his physical and his skills gonna transfer to 147.